Ghana is set to become a major logistics and trade hub in Africa with a groundbreaking partnership that will expand its port infrastructure and logistics capabilities. The multi-million-dollar collaboration between Ghana's Magdan Group and the Kenyan government is expected to accelerate the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, positioning Ghana as a central player in facilitating trade across the continent. To be more informed, be sure to stick to this video to the end. As we disseminate this partnership. And as always, before we begin, don't forget to like this video as it helps this content get to more people, and subscribe to this channel for more riveting content. Let's get right into it. The partnership between the Magdan Group and the Kenyan government, anchored by a memorandum of understanding, represents a strategic step towards strengthening trade links, streamlining logistics, and promote smoother movement of goods between West and East Africa. At its core, the project is about making it easier for goods to move between African countries, especially between West and East Africa. Currently, moving goods across the continent can be costly and time-consuming due to the limited infrastructure, like insufficient port facilities and transport networks. This partnership is designed to build up these essential facilities in Ghana, making it a central hub for trade. Imagine you are a business owner trying to send products from Ghana to China. Right now, without direct routes and the necessary logistics support, it might take a long time and cost more than it should. This project aims to change that by upgrading Ghana's port facilities and improving logistics network, creating a smoother, faster, and more cost-effective way to transport goods across Africa. In simple terms, it's about building the routes, ports, and systems that will make trade easier so businesses and economies in Africa can grow and thrive without hassle of existing trade barriers. Dr. Daniel Macaulay, Executive Chairman of the Magdan Group, shared his optimism about this partnership, emphasizing that the investments in infrastructure and logistics will unlock substantial economic benefits. According to Dr. Macaulay, the MOU will boost trade by facilitating the movement of nearly 100 containers annually, aiming to generate a financial turnover of approximately $1 billion. The expansion in Ghana's port infrastructure and logistic network will support the seamless flow of goods, reducing trade bottlenecks and enhancing connectivity within Africa. With the partnership focused specifically on linking Ghana and Kenya, the Magdan Group is making strategic investments that will serve as a bridge between West and East Africa. This development is part of a larger vision to support the African Continental Free Trade Agreement's mission of fostering free trade across Africa by addressing critical infrastructural gaps that currently hinder intracontinental commerce. The African Continental Free Trade Area is poised to be one of the world's largest free trade areas, connecting 1.3 billion people across 55 African countries. With a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion, headquartered in Ghana, the African Continental Free Trade Area holds enormous potential for opening new markets, accelerating industrialization, and driving investments across Africa. However, implementing this ambitious trade agreement requires robust infrastructure to support the increased movement of goods and services across borders. Dr. Macaulay highlighted that infrastructure is a core element for the African Continental Free Trade Area's success, as it directly impacts trade efficiency. Without sufficient port facilities, logistic networks, and transport systems, the vision of the African Continental Free Trade Area would remain largely theoretical. By expanding Ghana's port capacity and enhancing logistical support, this partnership aims to create the physical and operational foundation necessary to turn the African Continental Free Trade Area's vision into reality. The partnership between the Magdan Group and Kenya goes beyond simple logistics. Dr. Macaulay explained that it involves supporting services for each country, which will further enhance the bilateral nature of the agreement. The Memorandum of Understanding is comprehensive, covering essential elements for a successful trade corridor that can serve as a model for similar collaborations across the continent. By boosting logistics capabilities, the Magdan Group aims to reduce costs and time for businesses, enabling them to compete more effectively in Africa and the global markets. As Ghana ramps up its infrastructure capability, the economic benefits extend to job creation, skill development, and investment opportunities. The port expansion and logistics movements will also create ripple effects, supporting industries for manufacturing, agriculture, and technology that rely on effective trade networks to access markets and grow their operations. The Ghana-Kenya partnership is significant not only for the two nations involved, but for the entire continent, By establishing a reliable and efficient trade link between West and East Africa, this collaboration tackles one of the most pressing challenges in African trade: limited connectivity between regional markets. Current trade routes between African nations often require lengthy indirect paths due to infrastructural gaps. The new logistics corridor, anchored by Ghana's port expansion, is expected to simplify trade flows, reduce costs, and strengthen Africa's internal markets by creating a more integrated economic landscape. Dr. Macaulay emphasized that the logistical advancements from this partnership will allow Ghana to serve as a gateway for trade with East Africa, facilitating smoother exchange of goods like manufactured products, agricultural commodities, and raw materials. The initiative aligns with the African Continental Free Trade Area's broader goal to reduce trade barriers, streamline cross-border trade, and foster economic resilience across the continent. The economic benefits of the Ghana-Kenya partnership are expected to contribute significantly to Africa's development goals, particularly in creating sustainable economic growth and resilience. By enabling more efficient trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area, Ghana's expanded port infrastructure and logistics network will help Africa's nations reduce their reliance on exports to non-African markets, fostering greater self-sufficiency and economic independence within the continent. This alignment with the African Continental Free Trade Area's objectives underscores Ghana's role as a leader in Africa's economic transformation. As countries increasingly focus on intracontinental trade, Ghana's expanded capacity will play a pivotal role in creating a more resilient African economy that can adapt to global market shifts. Ghana's port infrastructure and logistics expansion, in partnership with Kenya, marks a transformative step for African trade. This collaboration is more than just a memorandum of understanding. It's a significant milestone towards building a more interconnected, resilient, and economic prosperous Africa. With Ghana poised to become a major hub for trade within the African Continental Free Trade Area framework, the Magdan Group's strategic investments are set to create lasting benefits not only for Ghana and Kenya, but for the entire African continent. What are your thoughts on the potential of intra-African trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area? How do you see Ghana's role evolving as this port expansion takes shape? Share your perspective below and stay tuned as we bring you more updates on Africa's journey towards economic integration and resilience. Be sure to like this video as it helps inform more people and helps this video reach a higher audience, and also share this video across platforms. Be sure to subscribe to this channel also, as we always bring you riveting and informative content. Thank you, and on to the next video. Be sure to check this next video out.